Most people believe success comes from working harder, learning more, or waiting for the right opportunity. But the uncomfortable truth is this: your future is already being shaped by who you know, who knows you, and who is willing to open doors for you. This book is not about collecting business cards. It's not about small talk, surface-level friendships, or chasing popularity. This book is about power, the silent, invisible kind that determines who gets access to capital, who gets invited into rooms where decisions are made, who scales faster while others stay stuck, who gets opportunities before they ever become public. Judy Robinett calls this power connecting, and once you see it, you'll never unsee it. Most people network randomly. They talk to whoever is nearby. They hope someone important notices them. Power connectors move differently. They understand that a small number of the right relationships create exponential returns, while thousands of the wrong ones create nothing but noise. That's where the 5 + 50 + 100 rule comes in. This rule isn't theory. It's been used by executives, investors, founders, and deal-makers who operate behind the scenes of massive success. The 5, your inner circle, the people who truly have your back, challenge you, and protect your reputation. The 50, your trusted active network, the connectors, operators, and allies who move information and opportunity. The 100, your extended power network, people with influence, access, and reach who expand your visibility far beyond your own effort. When these layers are built intentionally, something powerful happens. Opportunities start finding you. Introductions replace cold outreach. Speed replaces struggle. Leverage replaces burnout. This book is especially dangerous for one reason. It shifts your identity from someone asking for chances to someone people want to connect. You stop thinking like a worker. You start thinking like a node of value in a larger network. And here's the part most people miss. Power connectors are not loud. They're not flashy. They don't beg, chase, or oversell. They create value first, think long-term, and connect others strategically, because they understand that influence compounds faster than effort. As you move through this audiobook, you won't just learn how to network, you'll learn how to position yourself so people take you seriously, how to enter high-value ecosystems without pretending or faking status, how to turn relationships into long-term leverage, not short-term favors, how to think in connections, not transactions. This isn't about manipulation. It's about strategy, clarity, and intention. And by the end of this book, you won't look at people the same way again. You'll see ecosystems. You'll see leverage points. You'll see how one conversation, handled correctly, can change your entire trajectory. So take a breath, clear the noise, and get ready to upgrade how you think about relationships, opportunity, and influence. Because once you learn how power connectors move, you don't hustle harder, you move smarter.
Chapter 1. Power is not random, it is structured. Most people believe power is something you either have or you don't. You're born into it, you stumble into it, you get lucky. That belief is the first thing holding you back. Power, especially in business and money, is not random. It's structured. And once you understand the structure, you stop feeling invisible. Judy Robinett starts this chapter by dismantling a dangerous myth that networking is about being outgoing, charismatic, or naturally social. In reality, some of the most powerful connectors in the world are quiet, deliberate, and strategic. They don't dominate conversations. They design systems of relationships. Power doesn't come from knowing many people. It comes from knowing the right people in the right positions and, more importantly, knowing how those people are connected to each other. Think of the world as a massive web. Most people live on the edges of that web. They work hard, build skills, and hope their efforts somehow reach the center. Power connectors start from a different place. They study the web itself. They ask, who influences decisions here? Who controls access? Who introduces whom? Where does information flow fastest? This shift from doing more to seeing better is where power begins. The hidden truth about influence. Influence isn't about authority, it's about position. You can have a big title and no influence. You can have no title and still shape outcomes behind the scenes. Power connectors understand that relationships create leverage, and leverage creates speed. While others grind for years, connectors advance in months because they move through existing channels instead of building everything alone. Robinett emphasizes that powerful networks are intentional, not accidental. The strongest relationships are chosen, nurtured, and protected. They exist because someone decided they mattered. That person can be you, but only if you stop seeing networking as a casual activity and start treating it like a long-term investment portfolio. Why talent alone is not enough. This chapter delivers a brutal but freeing truth. Talent without access is invisible. You can be smart, skilled, disciplined, and ethical, and still struggle if you remain disconnected from opportunity channels. Meanwhile, someone less capable but better connected keeps moving up. This is not unfairness, this is reality. And once you accept it, you stop being angry at the system and start learning how to operate within it. Power connectors don't compete on effort alone, they compete on placement. They put themselves in rooms where decisions are made, near people who move resources, inside conversations that shape direction. They understand that who introduces you often matters more than what you say. The shift from transactional to strategic thinking. Most people approach relationships asking, "What can I get?" Power connectors ask, "How does value flow here?" They don't rush introductions, they don't force requests, they don't burn bridges for short-term wins. Instead, they think in ecosystems. They see how one introduction strengthens 3 relationships, how helping someone quietly increases their credibility, how consistency builds trust faster than charm. This is why their names carry weight even when they're not in the room. How you can apply these lessons. Here's where this chapter turns from theory into action. 1. Start mapping power, not people. Write down the industry or outcome you care about. Then identify decision-makers, influencers, gatekeepers, and connectors, people who introduce others frequently. You're not judging, just observing. 2. Stop random networking immediately. If conversations don't move you closer to ecosystems of opportunity, they're energy leaks. Be polite, but be intentional. 3. Become known for one form of value. Power connectors are memorable because they are useful in a specific way. Insight, access, execution, or clarity. Choose one and lean into it. 4. Protect your reputation like currency. In power networks, reputation travels faster than resumes. Be consistent, be reliable, do what you say you'll do, even when it's inconvenient. 5. Think long-term. The goal isn't immediate payoff. The goal is to become someone others trust to connect important dots. Because once people trust your judgment, they bring you into rooms that effort alone could never reach. This chapter sets the foundation. Power isn't mysterious. It isn't reserved for elites. It's built by those who understand structure, positioning, and patience.
Chapter 2. The 5 + 50 + 100 Rule. How powerful networks are actually built. Most people think a powerful network means knowing thousands of people. That idea is not just wrong, it's dangerous. It keeps you busy, exhausted, and unfocused. Judy Robinett introduces the 5 + 50 + 100 rule in this chapter to show how elite connectors build influence without spreading themselves thin. This rule is not about popularity, it's about precision. Powerful networks are layered, and if you don't build them in the right order, nothing works. The fatal networking mistake. Here's what most people do. They collect contacts, they attend events, they exchange LinkedIn messages, they stay in touch, but they have no structure, no prioritization, no hierarchy, no strategy. As a result, their network becomes noisy, shallow, and useless in moments that matter. Power connectors do the opposite. They design their network deliberately, starting with a small inner core and expanding outward with purpose. That's where the 5 + 50 + 100 rule comes in. The inner circle of 5, your strategic core. At the center of your network is a group of 5 people, not 10, not 20, 5. These are not your friends, they are your strategic allies. These 5 people challenge your thinking, have access you don't, operate at or above the level you want to reach,
tell you the truth, not what feels good. They are your sounding board when decisions matter. They help shape how you see opportunity. And here's the key most people miss. You don't choose these 5 based on closeness. You choose them based on alignment and leverage. Power connectors invest deeply here. They show up consistently. They add value quietly. They protect these relationships fiercely. Because if your inner 5 trust you, doors open without effort. The strategic 50, your opportunity engine. The next layer is your 50. This group includes industry peers, rising leaders, specialists, people who move within important ecosystems. You don't talk to them every week, but when you do interact, it's meaningful. This group is where introductions happen, opportunities surface, information flows early. Power connectors stay visible here without being needy. They share useful insights, make thoughtful introductions, show support publicly, stay relevant without demanding attention. Most people fail here because they either disappear or they constantly ask. Power connectors understand rhythm. They give, observe, and wait. And when they reach out, it's specific and respectful. The broad 100, your visibility and reach layer. The outer layer is your 100. This group is not intimate, but it's incredibly important. This is where your reputation travels, your name circulates. Weak ties become strong opportunities over time. These people know what you do, how you operate, what you're good at. They don't need updates, they need consistency. Power connectors manage this layer through strategic presence, thoughtful content, occasional high-value touchpoints. They don't overshare, they don't oversell. They let positioning do the work. Why this rule changes everything. The 5 plus 50 plus 100 rule does something powerful. It removes anxiety. You stop chasing everyone. You stop feeling behind. You stop over-networking. Instead, you focus on depth where it matters, breadth where it compounds. This structure turns networking from effort into leverage. Because now you know where to invest time, you know who actually matters, you understand how influence flows outward. And that clarity is rare. How you can apply these lessons. Let's make this real. 1. Write your current 5, 50, and 100. Be honest, don't inflate. Most people realize they don't truly have an inner 5, and that's okay. Awareness comes first. 2. Audit alignment, not comfort. Ask yourself, do these people challenge me or keep me safe? 3. Upgrade quietly. You don't drop people. You simply invest more energy where growth exists. 4. Become valuable before becoming visible. Before asking for access, ask, what problem can I help solve? 5. Protect the inner circle. Never gossip, never betray trust. Reputation is your most expensive asset. This chapter teaches a truth most people never learn. You don't need more people. You need the right structure. Once your network has structure, momentum follows naturally.
Chapter 3. How to identify high-value people. Fast, calm, and with precision. Most people waste years networking with the wrong people, not because they're careless, but because they don't know what to look for. They chase titles, they chase status, they chase loud personalities and big followings. Power connectors do none of that. They look for signals, subtle, repeatable indicators that reveal whether someone will matter 5, 10, or 20 years from now. This chapter is about learning that lens, because once you know how to recognize high-value people quickly, networking stops feeling random and starts feeling inevitable. The core truth: value is about trajectory, not position. Judy Robinett makes one principle unmistakably clear. High-value people are defined by their direction, not their current location. Most people evaluate others based on where they are today, their job title, company, bank balance, or visibility. Power connectors evaluate based on where the person has been, how fast they are learning, how they respond to pressure, whether they create momentum wherever they go. Someone early in their career with sharp thinking and ethical leverage is often more valuable than someone senior who's coasting.
Your job is not to impress powerful people. Your job is to spot emerging power early. The three categories of high-value people. Robinett breaks high-value relationships into three categories. Understanding these prevents you from building a lopsided or fragile network. 1. Decision makers. These are people who can say yes without asking permission. Examples: founders, executives with budget authority, managing partners, business owners. They control resources, access, and timing. But here's the trap. Decision makers are often time-poor and over-approached. You don't lead with favors, you lead with relevance. Connectors. These are people who know everyone worth knowing in a specific ecosystem. They may not be wealthy or famous, but they are plugged in. Examples: senior recruiters, industry advisors, association leaders, long-time operators. Connectors multiply your reach faster than any cold outreach ever could. Influencers. Not social media influencers, but credibility influencers. These people shape opinion. Subject matter experts, trusted veterans, quiet authorities. One endorsement from them can open doors that brute force never will. A powerful network has all three intentionally balanced. How power connectors spot value in minutes. High-value people reveal themselves quickly if you're listening for the right signals. Here's what power connectors look for. Signal number 1, pattern thinking. Ask yourself, does this person think in systems? Do they connect dots instead of listing facts? Can they explain why something works, not just what works? Pattern thinkers scale. Task doers plateau. Signal number 2, responsible risk-taking. High-value people aren't reckless, but they're not afraid either. They've switched careers strategically, taken calculated risks, learned from failure without becoming bitter. Listen for language like, "What I learned was, that taught me how to. Next time I'd do it differently because." That's growth energy. Signal number 3, reputation hygiene. Power connectors obsess over this. They quietly ask, do others speak well of this person when they're not around? Do they keep their word? Do they respect time? Reputation compounds faster than money. The give without bleeding principle. One of the most misunderstood parts of networking is generosity. Robinett is firm on this. Generosity must be strategic or it becomes self-sabotage. High-value people give information, introductions, perspective, insight. They don't give time they don't have, labor without leverage, emotional energy without boundaries. When evaluating someone, watch how they give. Do they give credit freely? Do they hoard information? Do they respect mutual benefit? Transactional people extract. High-value people circulate value. Red flags that signal low long-term value. Equally important is knowing who to avoid. Robinett identifies several warning signs power connectors never ignore. Chronic negativity, gossip framed as inside knowledge, constant blame of others, lack of curiosity, obsession with shortcuts. These traits don't disappear with success, they scale with it. One toxic node can weaken an entire network. The long game mindset. This chapter reinforces a truth most people overlook. Your most valuable connections tomorrow are often invisible today. Power connectors stay in touch without agenda. Track people's progress quietly. Invest attention early. Avoid desperation energy. They don't rush relationships, they compound them. How you can apply these lessons. Practical integration. Here's how to turn this chapter into real-world advantage. Exercise 1. Network audit. List 10 people you interact with professionally. Ask, are they growing? Do they think long-term? Do they elevate conversations? Be honest. Exercise 2. Signal listening. In your next 3 conversations, listen for learning language, ownership language, pattern explanations. Don't pitch, just observe. Exercise 3. Value radar. Before reaching out to anyone new, ask, what problem do they solve? Who listens to them? What do they influence? This prevents shallow connections. Chapter 3 Reframe. Networking is not about collecting people, it's about recognizing momentum. When you train yourself to identify high-value people early and calmly, you stop chasing opportunity and start standing where opportunity naturally passes by. And that's the difference between a crowded contact list and a profitable, powerful network.
Chapter 4. How to create immediate value without selling, chasing, or people-pleasing. Most people walk into conversations thinking, what can this person do for me? Power connectors walk in with a completely different operating system. How can I be useful in a way that costs me little but matters deeply to them? That single shift changes everything. This chapter is not about manipulation, it's about earned relevance. Because high-value people don't respond to enthusiasm, they respond to value clarity. The harsh truth: nobody cares about potential, they care about utility. Robinett is direct here. You don't earn attention by being interesting, you earn attention by being useful. This doesn't mean you need to be impressive, it means you need to understand where friction exists in someone's world. Power connectors don't ask, how can I pitch myself? How can I stand out? They ask, what problem is draining this person's time, energy, or focus? What can I remove, simplify, or accelerate? Value is subtraction, not addition. The 4 categories of high-impact value. One of the strongest parts of this chapter is how it demystifies value. You do not need money, status, or expertise to create it. Robinett outlines 4 high-impact, low-cost value types. 1. Insight value. This is perspective. Example, a trend someone hasn't noticed, a reframing of a stuck problem, a pattern from another industry. Insight value sounds like this: I've noticed this keeps happening when, or have you considered looking at it from this angle? This value is powerful because it saves mental energy. 2. Access value. This is introduction power. You may not be powerful, but you may know someone who is. A well-matched introduction saves time, reduces friction, and creates trust instantly. Important rule: never introduce people casually. Always explain why the connection makes sense for both sides. Poor connectors say, thought you two should meet. Power connectors say, you both mentioned struggling with X, this might save weeks. 3. Execution value. This is action-oriented help. Examples: sharing a proven template, offering a quick implementation tip, pointing to a reliable resource. Execution value is respected because most people are idea-rich and action-poor. You don't need to do the work for them, you need to shorten the path. 4. Emotional value. This is rare and incredibly powerful. It includes genuine encouragement, calm validation, being steady, not needy. High performers are often emotionally isolated. Someone who listens without agenda becomes unforgettable. Why selling yourself instantly destroys leverage. Robinett is clear. The moment you start selling, you lower your status. Selling creates pressure. Pressure creates resistance. Power connectors never rush relevance. They allow value to be discovered, not announced. This is why the most powerful introductions often begin with, I enjoyed our last conversation, or that idea you shared stuck with me. No pitch, no ask, just signal alignment. The strategic generosity rule. This chapter reinforces a critical boundary. Give value in ways that are repeatable and sustainable. Burnout is not noble. Overgiving is not attractive. Power connectors give ideas, not free labor. Share insight, not exhaustion. Help without becoming available on demand. You are not trying to be liked, you are trying to be respected. How to prepare before any high-value conversation. Robinett introduces a simple but deadly effective prep framework. Before meeting anyone significant, ask yourself, what does this person optimize for? Time, results, reputation, growth. Where are they constrained? Decision overload, hiring,
scaling, focus. What can I offer that aligns with both? This takes 10 minutes and puts you ahead of 95% of people. Value compounds faster than charm. One of the most powerful insights in this chapter: charm fades, value compounds. People forget conversations, they remember outcomes. When someone associates you with solving friction, reducing noise, or creating momentum, they look for reasons to keep you close. How you can apply these lessons: practical integration. This chapter only works if you practice it intentionally. Exercise 1. Value inventory. Write down skills you use easily, insights others often thank you for, people you can responsibly connect. This is your value toolkit. Exercise 2. The no-pitch rule. In your next 5 professional interactions, do not explain what you do unless asked. Focus entirely on understanding and helping. Observe what changes. Exercise 3. 1 strategic give per week. Once per week, send an article, make an intro, share a resource. No follow-up, no expectation. Track the long-term returns. Chapter 4. Reframe. Powerful networks aren't built by being impressive. They're built by being useful without being needy. When people feel lighter, clearer, or stronger after interacting with you, they don't forget you. They protect the relationship. And that's how access is earned, quietly, calmly, permanently.
Chapter 5. How to build trust fast without oversharing, forcing connection, or playing a role. Most people think trust is built through time. That's only half true. Trust is not about how long you know someone, it's about how safe and predictable you feel to them. This chapter destroys a dangerous myth. You do not build trust by revealing more about yourself. You build trust by being consistent, clear, and low drama. Power connectors understand something most people miss. Trust is a psychological shortcut, and once someone feels it with you, they stop questioning your intentions. Why oversharing actually kills trust. Robinett makes this uncomfortable but essential point. Emotional exposure without earned context feels manipulative, not authentic. When someone dumps personal struggles too early, tries to fast-track intimacy, uses vulnerability as a bonding tactic, it triggers subconscious alarm bells. High performers and decision-makers are especially sensitive to this. They don't want emotional burden, they want emotional stability. The real definition of trust in professional relationships. Trust does not mean being liked, being friendly, being open. Trust means you do what you say, you don't create friction, you respect boundaries, you don't create uncertainty. People trust those who lower cognitive load. The 3 pillars of fast trust. Robinett breaks trust down into 3 controllable pillars, no charisma required. 1. Reliability. This is the strongest trust accelerator. Reliability means you follow through, you respond when you say you will, you don't disappear. Even small broken commitments erode trust rapidly. Important insight. 1 missed follow-up can undo 5 good conversations. Power connectors are not busy showing potential, they are boringly reliable. 2. Discretion. This is where most people fail. If you gossip, share private details, use inside info for status, people notice and mentally demote you. Robinett's rule: if someone tells you something privately, treat it as if it has a lock on it. Silence is trust currency. When people realize you don't leak information, they relax around you. 3. Emotional consistency. This is subtle but powerful. Trust grows when people experience you as calm, even-toned, predictable under pressure. Mood swings, overreactions, and urgency kill trust. High-trust individuals don't bring chaos into rooms, they bring stability. Why being yourself is incomplete advice. Robinett challenges a popular phrase, just be yourself. The truth is, your raw self is not always your reliable self. Power connectors are intentional versions of themselves. They don't fake personalities, they regulate them. Trust is built when people know what version of you they'll get every time. The trust-building conversation style. Here's how power connectors communicate. They listen more than they speak. They don't interrupt with stories. They respond thoughtfully, not urgently. They don't compete for attention. Robinett highlights this key principle. People trust those who make them feel understood, not impressed. Understanding creates safety. Safety creates openness. Openness creates access. Why urgency destroys credibility. One of the strongest warnings in this chapter: urgency signals instability. When you push for quick decisions, rush closeness, chase validation, you communicate scarcity. Power connectors move at a measured pace. They are not in a hurry to extract value. Ironically, this patience increases their leverage. The long game of trust. Trust compounds quietly. Someone may not act on it today, or next month, or even this year, but when a decision matters, a risk is involved, reputation is on the line, they will choose the person who feels safe. That's how doors open without knocking. How you can apply these lessons: practical integration. This chapter only works when you slow down. Exercise 1. Reliability audit. Review the last 10 commitments you made. Did you follow through? Communicate clearly when delayed? Fix small integrity leaks immediately. Exercise 2. Silence practice. For 1 week, do not repeat anything said to you privately. Do not gossip, even positively. Notice how people relax around you. Exercise 3. Emotional regulation. Before important interactions, ask, am I calm? Am I rushed? Am I seeking validation? Stability builds trust before words do. Chapter 5. Reframe. Trust is not built through intensity, it's built through consistency. Not through closeness, but through clarity. Not through vulnerability, but through reliability. When people feel safe with you, they stop guarding doors. They leave them open.
Chapter 6. How to maintain relationships without constant contact. The power of strategic presence. Most people believe networking is about constant visibility. They think, if I don't keep reaching out, I'll be forgotten. This is deadly thinking. Power connectors understand a secret that most never learn. Relationships are like investments. They grow quietly when handled strategically, not frantically. You do not need to chase people. You need to stay present in ways that matter. The myth of frequent contact. Robinett challenges the common advice: stay in touch weekly, even if there's nothing important. The problem: most touch points add noise, not value. When you over-communicate, you signal neediness, waste both your time and theirs, and reduce the perceived value of your interactions. Power connectors measure contact quality, not quantity. The 4 laws of strategic presence. Judy Robinett lays out 4 principles that ensure relationships stay alive without being clingy. 1. Relevance first. Every interaction should have a reason, even if small. Examples: sharing an article directly related to their goals, passing along a connection that matters to them, offering a timely insight. Random check-ins create fatigue. Targeted relevance builds respect and anticipation. 2. Predictable rhythm. Humans thrive on rhythm. Power connectors establish long-term cadence, quarterly email updates, annual industry insights, holiday check-ins that add personal warmth. This creates calm trust because people know you won't disappear, but you also won't overwhelm. 3. Leverage milestones. Every interaction should amplify a milestone, celebrating a promotion, congratulating a major project success, recognizing influence or achievement. Power connectors are psychologically aware. They make people feel seen without asking for anything in return. 4. Value compound. Small, repeated contributions compound over time. Useful articles, relevant introductions, quick advice snippets. One moment of high-value interaction is good. A consistent pattern of value is unforgettable. Why less is more. Robinett makes a powerful argument.
The goal is not to be omnipresent, it is to be remembered for the right reasons. Being overly available signals need. Being invisible creates doubt. Being strategically present communicates mastery. Power connectors operate in this sweet spot, visible enough to be relevant, subtle enough to create anticipation. The quiet connector technique. Here's one practical trick from the chapter. Identify your inner 5 and outer 50. Map potential contribution points for each person. Schedule touch points only when contribution is ready. You are no longer reacting to networking, you are designing influence. The quiet connector doesn't chase, they allow value to be noticed. And when high-value people think of opportunities, your name naturally comes up first. How technology helps without hurting. Robinett emphasizes tools like LinkedIn, email, and social platforms should amplify strategy, not replace human judgment. Power connectors use technology to track milestones, send relevant updates, remind themselves of important dates. They don't rely on automation alone. Every touch point has intentionality. The pitfall of over-connection. Over-connection is seductive. People feel productive just by sending constant emails, texts, or LinkedIn messages. But Robinett warns, quantity does not equal influence. Relevance does. Remember, one meaningful interaction can outweigh dozens of shallow ones. How you can apply these lessons, practical integration. Exercise 1, Strategic Contact Map. Write down your top 5 inner circle people, 50 active network people. Plan one high-value touchpoint per person in the next 90 days. Exercise 2, Value First Reminder. Before every interaction, ask, am I giving value or asking for it? Exercise 3, Milestone Recognition Tracker. Track birthdays, promotions, major achievements. Send a personal, thoughtful note, not generic, not automated. Chapter 6, Reframe. Networking is not about busyness, it's about presence. Not constant noise, but strategically timed visibility. When you master strategic presence, your network works for you even when you're not actively reaching out. And in the next chapter, we'll explore how to engage your extended 100-person network, the layer that multiplies opportunity exponentially.
Chapter 7. How to activate your extended network, the 100-person layer of influence. Most people ignore their extended network. They think, I barely know these people. Why bother? Big mistake. Judy Robinett calls this group your network multiplier. It's not about closeness, it's about reach, visibility, and leverage. This layer doesn't provide intimacy, but it creates scale. And when handled correctly, it can multiply opportunities overnight. The hidden power of weak ties. Sociologists call this the strength of weak ties. Strong relationships, the inner 5, bring trust and deep influence. Weak relationships, the 100, bring information, access, and opportunity you wouldn't encounter otherwise. Robinett emphasizes weak ties are bridges to new ecosystems. Think of your extended network like a set of doors. Every door leads to rooms you couldn't reach alone. The rules of extended network engagement. You can't treat the outer 100 like your inner 5. You can't DM them daily. You can't overcommit. Power connectors follow 3 core rules for this layer. 1. Curated visibility. Appear in ways that matter. Publish insights relevant to their industry. Share helpful content they notice. Attend events where they are present. The goal, be seen as capable and relevant, not available. 2. Triggered touchpoints. Power connectors use triggers to guide contact. Triggers can be industry news, achievement announcements, mutual acquaintances' success. Instead of random check-ins, contact is purposeful. Timing matters more than frequency. 3. Reputation as currency. Your name travels faster than your presence. In this layer, people don't know you personally, they know what others say about you. Robinett stresses, protect your reputation like it's capital. One careless interaction in this layer can ripple widely. How the 100 multiplies opportunities. When the outer layer is active, you learn of opportunities before others. Introductions occur naturally. Invitations to influential events arrive without asking. Power connectors understand that relationships can operate on autopilot when structured correctly. Even minimal but meaningful touchpoints can generate massive leverage. Avoid the common mistakes. Most people fail with this layer because they over-communicate and irritate, ignore entirely and stay invisible, or treat it as transactional, asking for favors too early. Robinett warns, weak ties reward patience, not urgency. The outer network works in compound mode. It multiplies slowly at first, but acceleration occurs once your inner and active layers are strong. How to provide value at scale. Even with 100 people, you can give value without burning out. Share curated content that resonates broadly. Make selective introductions that matter. Highlight achievements of others publicly. Comment meaningfully on professional platforms. Small, strategic gestures create high perceived value. The psychology behind influence without contact. People feel connected when they hear your name in the right context, see evidence of competence and generosity, sense reliability in indirect ways. Robinett explains, influence does not require intimacy, it requires perception of value. This is why strategic presence works so well. You don't have to force relationships, you just have to signal relevance consistently. How you can apply these lessons, practical integration. Exercise 1, Extended Network Map. List 100 people you want to influence or stay visible to. Identify key triggers for contact. Exercise 2, one meaningful signal per week. For each person, consider a helpful article, congratulating a milestone, subtle recognition of their work. Exercise 3, Reputation Audit. Ask colleagues or mutual contacts, what do you think my name represents? Adjust interactions to strengthen positive perception. Chapter 7, Reframe. Your extended network is not for deep friendship, it's your influence engine. When you operate with strategic presence, value triggers, and reputation discipline, doors open you didn't even know existed. Opportunities arrive without chasing. Your inner network grows faster by leverage. This layer turns networking from effort into exponential growth.
Chapter 8. Mastering Introductions. How to become the connector everyone wants in their corner. Most people underestimate the power of introductions. They think networking is about what they know. Power connectors know it's about who they connect and how they connect them. Robinett's key insight: your network's value compounds when you connect the right people at the right time. An introduction is not just a favor, it's strategic currency. And when you handle this currency well, people will actively seek your presence. Why introductions are the highest form of value. Think about it. Your inner 5 trusts you. Your 50 listens when you share insight. Your 100 watches your moves. Now imagine facilitating mutually beneficial introductions across these layers. This is the moment leverage multiplies. You don't need more skills or more followers. You simply activate your network. The 3 principles of high-impact introductions. Robinett emphasizes 3 key principles for making introductions that matter. 1. Relevance first. Every introduction must serve both parties. Ask, does this connection solve a problem or create opportunity? Will both sides see value from this interaction? Avoid introductions that are vague or just because. Random connections are noise, not leverage. 2. Context matters. A powerful introduction is never just, hey, meet this person. Instead, provide context. How you know each person, why you think the connection matters, what opportunity or insight they share. Example phrasing. I thought you two should meet because you both are scaling tech solutions in healthcare. You might share insights on X and Y. Context signals thoughtfulness and credibility. 3. Timing is everything. An introduction made too early or too late loses impact. Power connectors track milestones, projects, and challenges to introduce at the perfect moment. Early, opportunity isn't ready, so attention is wasted. Late, potential value is gone, leaving minimal impact. Perfect, both parties see immediate benefit, which strengthens trust and gratitude.
How to avoid being a connector who is ignored. Not all introductions create leverage. Robinett identifies common mistakes. Introducing irrelevant people. Both parties feel you wasted their time. Over-promising results. If nothing comes of the connection, your credibility drops. Not following up. Introductions need gentle follow-up to ensure engagement. Transactional mindset. People sense when you're trying to get something in return. The key, give first, connect strategically, then step back. The power of being a go-to connector. When you master introductions, your inner circle values your judgment more. Your outer 50 notices your strategic vision. Your extended 100 begins to trust your reputation and seek your involvement. Robinett stresses, the person who connects others well is more valuable than the person with the most connections. This is why elite connectors are rare and sought after. People compete to know them because access and opportunity flow through their hands. How to create compound leverage through introductions. Compound leverage comes when you make one strategic introduction. That introduction generates opportunity for multiple people. Those people return the favor, amplifying your network. Eventually, your network begins self-sustaining growth, and your influence increases without additional effort. How you can apply these lessons. Practical integration. Exercise 1. Identify mutual opportunities. Review your network. Find 2 people who can genuinely help each other. Determine the value both will gain. Exercise 2. Craft context-rich introductions. Write the intro with why you're connecting them, the benefit each will receive, a soft, non-pushy handoff. Exercise 3. Track impact. Follow up after 1 week. Did the connection happen? Did it create value? What can be improved next time? Chapter 8. Reframe. The skill of introducing others strategically is more than networking. It's multiplying influence quietly and ethically. When you become the person who activates opportunity for others, people want you in the room, your credibility skyrockets, your network grows without chasing. The next chapter will show how to maintain influence even when you're not visible, ensuring your network continues to work for you.
Chapter 9. How to sustain influence, becoming invisible but unforgettable. Most people think influence requires constant effort, frequent calls, daily messages, social media updates. Power connectors know the opposite. True influence is sustained when you're absent but still remembered. This is the principle that separates busy networkers from strategic power connectors. The myth of visibility. Robinett is blunt. Showing up everywhere doesn't create influence, it creates noise. Being omnipresent often leads to annoying people, diluting perceived value, becoming just another contact. Strategic influence is about subtle presence, not constant reminders. The principle of invisible influence. Invisible influence works through 3 core mechanisms. 1. Reputation precedes you. Your actions, introductions, and consistent value travel faster than your physical presence. When people in your network talk about you, they share your reliability, highlight your insight, trust your judgment. Robinett emphasizes, others become your megaphone without you having to speak. 2. Value compounds over time. Every small act, an article shared, a timely introduction, a thoughtful comment, adds up. Your network remembers the benefit, not the frequency of contact. Consistency matters, but constant contact does not. 3. Strategic silence. Absence can increase influence if managed intentionally. It creates anticipation. It highlights selectiveness. It signals high value. Power connectors don't chase attention. They let their network come to them, which naturally amplifies respect and trust. Why less contact creates more leverage? Robinett highlights a paradox. People who contact everyone constantly are forgotten. People who contact intentionally, with purpose and sparingly, are sought after. Selective visibility communicates confidence, expertise, high value. It also ensures your energy is preserved for high-impact interactions.
How to maintain influence without fatigue. Power connectors sustain influence through layered touch points. Inner 5, deep personal interactions. Outer 50, meaningful updates or targeted insight. Extended 100, curated signals, achievements, or introductions. Each layer requires different energy and frequency. 2. Milestone leverage. Celebrate others' wins strategically. Promotions, awards, key projects completed. Your acknowledgement strengthens bonds and keeps you top of mind without active engagement. 3. Reputation management. Influence isn't just what you do, it's what others say about you when you're not present. Guard your credibility. Avoid gossip, keep promises, stay consistent. A strong reputation echoes in your absence. The psychology behind invisible influence. People tend to value scarcity. Someone who appears in every minor interaction is taken for granted. Someone who shows up at the right time with the right value is remembered forever. Robinett calls this the magnet effect. Others come to you because they expect benefit, not because you chase them. How you can apply these lessons: practical integration. Exercise 1. Layered interaction plan. Map your inner 5, outer 50, and extended 100. Decide how and when to reach each layer. Exercise 2. Milestone calendar. Track important dates in your network. Send personal notes that celebrate achievement, not request favors. Exercise 3. Reputation checkpoint. Ask a trusted colleague, how would you describe my influence to others? Am I seen as reliable, selective, and high value? Adjust your behaviors based on honest feedback. Chapter 9. Reframe. Influence is not earned through busyness. It's earned through intentional, consistent, and strategic presence. When you master invisible influence, your network continues to work for you even when you're absent. Opportunities come without chasing. You become unforgettable without being overbearing. The next chapter will reveal how to multiply this influence even faster by leveraging reciprocity and strategic generosity.
Chapter 10. How to multiply your influence through reciprocity, giving strategically to get unstoppable results. Most people misunderstand reciprocity. They think it's about giving to get something immediately. Robinett flips that notion. Reciprocity is about giving value without expectation and letting the returns arrive organically. When done correctly, this principle multiplies influence exponentially. The core psychology of reciprocity. Humans are wired to reciprocate. It's a deeply ingrained social instinct. Someone helps you, they feel good when you return the favor. Someone gives insight or introductions, they expect nothing yet gain loyalty and connection. Power connectors leverage this instinct ethically. They give high-value, low-cost contributions that others cannot ignore. The 5 rules of strategic giving. Robinett lays out 5 rules to maximize reciprocity. 1. Give without immediate expectation. Give first, give thoughtfully, give consistently. Stop thinking about what's in it for me. Power connectors focus on impact, not transaction. 2. Make value memorable. Small gestures are good, meaningful gestures are unforgettable. Introductions that save weeks of work. Insights that prevent mistakes. Timely encouragement during stressful projects. Memorable value ensures your influence grows even when you're absent. 3. Give in alignment with strengths. Don't overextend or give randomly. Focus on areas where you are credible and competent. Your knowledge, your connections, your insights. Strategic giving compounds your reputation as someone others can depend on. 4. Enable others to shine. One of Robinett's most powerful lessons. Your influence grows faster when you elevate others, not yourself. Introduce, acknowledge, or credit others publicly. When people feel recognized, they naturally want to reciprocate and advocate for you. 5. Track and amplify impact. Pay attention to the outcomes of your giving. Who benefited most? What created ripple effects? Where did influence multiply unexpectedly? Tracking impact ensures that your efforts generate long-term leverage, not just temporary goodwill.
the multiplier effect of giving. Power connectors don't just maintain relationships, they activate them. One well-timed introduction, insight, or piece of advice can spark collaboration, open new revenue streams, build loyalty that lasts years. Robinett calls this the compound value of generosity. How to avoid common pitfalls. Reciprocity can backfire if handled poorly. Overgiving leads to burnout and loss of perceived value. Random giving creates confusion and dilutes impact. Expecting immediate returns destroys authenticity. The key is intentional, strategic, and measured generosity. How you can apply these lessons. Practical integration. Exercise 1. Strategic giving plan. List 5 to 10 people in your network. Identify one high-value action for each that aligns with your strengths. Exercise 2. Elevate others publicly. Write a public acknowledgement or recommendation for someone whose work you admire. Observe the ripple effects. Exercise 3. Track ripple impact. For the next 90 days, note introductions made, insights shared, projects influenced. Analyze which actions created unexpected leverage. Chapter 10 Reframe. Strategic reciprocity is not transactional, it is identity defining. When you give thoughtfully, your influence multiplies, opportunities arrive naturally, relationships deepen without pressure. This principle is the cornerstone of the 5 + 50 + 100 rule, turning a simple network into a powerful ecosystem.
Chapter 11. How to maintain power, trust, and leverage. Becoming a high-impact connector who lasts. Most people think networking peaks when they make connections. Power connectors know that making connections is just the beginning. The real mastery lies in sustaining influence without exhausting energy or trust. Robinett stresses, power is not about knowing everyone. It's about being trusted, remembered, and influential simultaneously. This chapter is about holding that balance. The delicate triangle: power, trust, leverage. Think of your network as a triangle. Power, the ability to influence outcomes, open doors, and create opportunity. Trust, the confidence others have in your reliability, discretion, and consistency. Leverage, the ability to activate your network efficiently, multiplying results. Neglect any one of these and the triangle collapses. Power without trust equals influence fails. Trust without leverage equals relationships stagnate. Leverage without power equals connections meaningless. True connectors nurture all three simultaneously. How to protect trust while expanding influence. Trust is fragile. Robinett emphasizes, your credibility is your currency. Guard it fiercely. Ways to protect trust. Keep promises, even small ones. Respect confidences and sensitive information. Be consistent in tone, timing, and reliability. Influence grows faster when trust is intact because people feel safe opening doors for you and acting on your guidance. Maintaining leverage without overextension. Power connectors never chase every opportunity. Instead, they focus on strategic activation, introducing people only when it matters. Selective visibility, staying relevant without over-communicating. Delegated influence, allowing trusted contacts to amplify your reach. Leverage is about doing more with less effort, not forcing connections. The discipline of invisible leadership. Robinett introduces the concept of invisible leadership. Lead without needing recognition, influence without demanding attention. This approach reduces resistance, increases loyalty, positions you as a natural connector in any ecosystem. You don't need titles or positions. Your reputation, consistency, and strategic value are what generate authority. Compounding relationships over time. Relationships are like investments. They compound silently. Power connectors identify high-value connections early. Provide consistent small contributions. Trust the long-term payoff. Robinett notes, one introduction today can lead to multiple opportunities years from now if handled correctly. The key is patience, discipline, and focus on long-term trust and relevance. How you can apply these lessons, practical integration. Exercise 1. Power, Trust, Leverage Audit. List your top 10 relationships. Ask, how much trust exists? How effectively am I leveraging these connections? Where does power reside? Exercise 2. Strategic Touchpoint Plan. Identify 1 to 2 high-impact actions per week that maintain influence without chasing. Thoughtful message, relevant article, introduction or recognition. Exercise 3. Conflict Simulation. Think of a past misunderstanding. Practice handling it privately and neutrally. Notice how trust and influence could have been preserved. Chapter 11. Reframe. Maintaining power, trust, and leverage is not about controlling people. It's about operating with intention, patience, and integrity. When you master this triangle, your network becomes a multiplier, your reputation grows organically, opportunities arrive without chasing. This chapter sets the stage for becoming a power connector who isn't just seen, but sought after, and whose influence compounds quietly over time.
Chapter 12. How to expand your network strategically. Growth without sacrificing quality. Most people think growing a network is simply about adding more contacts. Power connectors know the truth. Growth without strategy is chaos. Influence without selectivity is wasted energy. This chapter reveals how to expand deliberately, maximizing opportunity while preserving trust, leverage, and your sanity. The principle of strategic expansion. Robinett emphasizes, your network is like a portfolio. Each connection is an investment. Diversify, but choose wisely. Growth must be purpose-driven, not random. Adding contacts indiscriminately creates noise and dilution. Instead, power connectors focus on quality plus relevance plus potential for reciprocity. The 3 lenses of expansion. Every new connection is evaluated through 3 lenses. 1. Value alignment. Does this person operate in a field relevant to your goals? Share similar ethics and work standards? Have access to opportunities you care about? If the answer is no, the contact may be interesting but strategically irrelevant. 2. Influence potential. Ask, can this person amplify your reach? Do they have credibility in circles you want to penetrate? Are they connectors themselves? Power connectors look for nodes of influence, not just numbers. 3. Complementary skills. Connections should add skills or perspectives your network lacks. Knowledge you don't have, access you cannot reach, insights that enhance decision-making. Complementary contacts strengthen the ecosystem, not just pad your list. The art of selective invitation. Robinett stresses intentionality in reaching out. Don't connect for the sake of social media numbers. Don't chase vanity metrics like LinkedIn connections. Focus on people who matter, and those who matter will notice you. Selective expansion creates scarcity and increases perceived value. Layered approach to growth. Robinett advises, your best expansion opportunities often come from the people you already know. Use your inner 5 and outer 50 to get introductions to relevant new contacts, receive insights about promising people to engage, build credibility by association. Strategic expansion is never a solo effort, it's an ecosystem-based.
avoiding common expansion mistakes. Overextending, too many new connections without follow-up dilutes influence. Ignoring alignment, irrelevant contacts waste energy. Chasing quantity over quality. Numbers look impressive but produce minimal results. Power connectors prioritize intentional growth over rapid accumulation. The power of a network map. Robinett recommends creating a network map. Track your inner 5, outer 50, and extended 100. Identify gaps in expertise, geography, or industries. Target connections that fill those gaps. This ensures growth is strategic, balanced, and scalable. How you can apply these lessons. Practical integration. Exercise 1. Network gap analysis. Identify areas where your network lacks influence, skills, or access. Pinpoint 5 to 10 high-value potential contacts for each gap. Exercise 2. Strategic introduction plan. Ask your inner 5 and outer 50 for referrals to high-impact aligned contacts. Exercise 3. Evaluate relevance. Before adding anyone new, what value do they bring? How will this strengthen your ecosystem? What's the potential for long-term reciprocity? Chapter 12, Reframe. Expanding your network is not about adding more people, it's about adding the right people. Strategic growth preserves trust, leverage, and influence, and it ensures that every new connection contributes to a multiplying ecosystem, rather than just filling space.
As we reach the end of this journey through the 5 plus 50 plus 100 rule, remember this. True power in networking is not about collecting contacts. It's about creating impact, trust, and leverage that multiplies over time. Judy Robinett has shown us that influence comes from strategic presence, not constant visibility. Introductions are currency, and handled well, they multiply your reputation. Reciprocity is identity-defining, not transactional. Growth must be intentional, balancing quality and expansion. Every connection you make is an opportunity to learn, to help, to elevate, and to grow. The real magic happens when you give first and strategically, when you act with thoughtfulness and integrity, and when you let your network become a self-sustaining ecosystem of opportunity. Imagine your inner circle, outer 50, and extended 100 not as mere names in a spreadsheet, but as living, breathing channels of collaboration, insight, and influence. This is the power of the 5 plus 50 plus 100 rule. It transforms networking from a task into an identity. Now it's time to apply these lessons daily. Reach out thoughtfully, make meaningful introductions, provide value without expectation, and watch how your influence multiplies silently and powerfully. You are no longer just another professional. You are a power connector, someone people seek out, trust, and rely on. If this journey resonated with you and you want to continue building your network and mastering influence, subscribe to Audio Growth Library. Every week, we bring you insights from world-class books that transform your mindset, your habits, and your results. Don't just learn, become the person others want in their corner. Your network is waiting. Your influence is ready. Step into it.